Welcome back to the channel. Tim here. Hope you're having a good day. It's a beautiful day in Florida. Let me ask you something. What do you do when life knocks you down? And it happens to all of us, right? We go through major adversity, minor adversity, but certain things happen in our life because that's part of being human, right? It's not all good. You might be discouraged. You might be overwhelmed. You've been knocked down. You might have been knocked down by an illness, a life-changing accident. Maybe you've gone through a financial hardship. A lot of people are going through that right now, just the way the economy is. Maybe gone through a divorce, just any kind of major life disruption. What do you do and how do you handle it? What I'm going to do in this video, I want to give you 3 ways to recover emotionally when life knocks you down. Now, this isn't one of them, but first of all, what I want you to do is recognize that whatever you're going through and however you're reacting to it, it is not weakness. It's like anything. Resiliency is like anything else. It's like a muscle. You have to practice these things. And the only way you get to practice a lot of times is when you go through some stuff, some adversity, right? Some bad stuff or things that we label as bad stuff. Now, in my experience, what I found, every adversity that I go through, every single one, there's 2 things in it. There's a lesson and there's a blessing in it, right? That's just what I found. The only problem with that is when you're going through it, it's you can't see that because the lesson and the blessing you see in hindsight, right? It's not until after all this you go through it that you actually recognize the lesson in it, and there's usually a blessing too. There's always a blessing. You can always find a blessing in it. So what do you do? Well, the first thing that I teach people is, have you ever gone to somebody and said, you might have been down, they asked you how you're feeling, and say, I'm a little depressed today. And somebody that might be really close to you said, well, you shouldn't be depressed. And my reaction is always the same. It's, yes, I recognize I shouldn't be depressed, but I am. This is the reality, right? So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to move? I know this is a negative emotion, is a negative feeling. I don't want to feel this way. I know I really shouldn't in a perfect world, but I do. So what do I do about it? Well, the first thing I do is validate that emotion. What you're feeling is what you're feeling. And what you're feeling is real to you and it's valid to you, right? And sometimes life sucks. What you're going through, if it's a major adversity, or even if it's a minor adversity, it threw you off. So it's okay to lament it a little bit and say, hey, this is kind of tough. But when there's a, I want to say, a trap in that. When you're going through that and you go into self-pity mode, don't stay there, right? Don't stay there because it's real easy to stay and wallow in it. I always say validate the feelings, feel the feelings. If you're feeling down, it's comfortable, right? It's kind of comfortable to commiserate and say, boy, life sucks. This is really tough. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know how I'm going to solve this. I don't know what the solution is. It just kind of sucks. That's okay. Validate those feelings. Just don't stay there. That is the problem that people have. They stay stuck and then they try to get people to buy into their misery. And that's what you don't want to do. You want to recover emotionally. So first of all, know that what you're feeling is what you're feeling. And don't try to um, squelch that, right? Because that's number one. Number two, have you ever asked, why me? Why me? Why this happened to me? Out of all the people, what, 8 billion people, 8 billion people on the planet, and this happened to me. Why? One thing I can say about Tourette syndrome, all this stuff, and even going into almost dying of COVID, I never asked that question because I learned a long time ago, why not you? Who do you suggest? Right? Because we always think these things, the bad stuff happens to other people. No, this is life, folks. It happens to all of us, right? We go through, I don't know about you, but you ever been ready to go to work? You might have been a little late for it, can't find your car keys. Frustration, right? We talked about this before. Um, why not you? Things happen, right? So don't ask those questions about why me? Instead, you want to reframe that and say, what can I learn from this? Right? That's what every adversity, I go, what can I learn from this? What am I being taught? Right? This is what I found. And Tony Robbins put this best. He said, the quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Because we always have this internal dialogue. I call it the chatterbox. The chatterbox is in the back of our mind. It's always got an opinion on something. It's always talking. It's always, ranting. It might be ranting. It might be lecturing you, but it's that chatterbox is always there. In other words, and the quality of our life is the quality of that chatterbox, getting it under control and asking the questions to yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why me? Why did this happen to me? Right? What can I learn from it? How can I grow through this? Right? So your self-talk is really important. And when the self-talk can take you out of a victim mentality, because when you go, why me, you automatically go into victim mentality. It's like, why not you? Right? It's going to happen to somebody. So just own it, validate your feelings about how you're feeling about it, and then what can I learn from this? Kind of reframe that positive talk. You want to go from victim to student, right? You want to go from, oh man, this life knocked me down. I feel helpless. You're never helpless. You're never, ever helpless. You want to go from victim to student and start asking better questions about how you can take this and turn it to your advantage. All right. So that's number one. Number two, don't isolate. Emotional recovery thrives on safe connection. We're human beings, and as human beings, we are social creatures. We need people. There's a lot of people that prefer to be alone, and you'll see a lot of videos on YouTube about why people suck later in life and everything. But the bottom line is we need people because that's just how we're wired. So if you don't have a support system in place right now, I would invite you to start become a part of a group to get a support system. That's crucial to get through adversity. I don't do this stuff alone. It's not like I'm this really strong guy that can just deal with anything and get through anything. I need help. I need help. I need other people. So I got to remember that emotional recovery thrives in connection with my tribe. All right. So that's number two. Don't isolate and reach out to friends and start get a support group. That's so crucial. Nobody can get through life alone. A lot of people think they can, but it's a lot easier to do it with people because we are in the time of interdependence. It's not Interdependence means we rely on each other. And that's the way any civilized society is going to survive, is basically if it's interdependence, not dependence, but interdependence. So, what's the third thing you could do? Focus on daily micro wins, small, consistent actions, right? Don't get overwhelmed and just don't go ballistic when life kind of takes a nosedive, which it does for all of us, right? I heard somebody say the messenger of misery is either on its way to your house or it just left or it's already there, right? That messenger of misery affects us all. It's how you deal with it which will build your resiliency and build that resilient muscle. So, small, consistent wins. Congratulate yourself. My life coach taught me this. Every day, I would write down 10 things to validate myself. In other words, what did I do right today? Because I don't know if you notice, society will tell you every time you're doing something wrong. Every time you're screwing up, society is ready to jump on that. My job, and I recognized my purpose a long time ago, actually when I was about 12 years old, my job is to tell people what they're doing right. Because everybody else will tell you what you're doing wrong. And that's just a basic psychological principle. When somebody messes up, you look at them, you're up here, it's like, oh, I would do that, right? And especially if a celebrity does that, they fall. We really pumped up. A lot of people are pumped up. Now, there's a name for that called Schadenfreude. And it's a German term, and it's basically seeing somebody famous that's really successful and had it all, and you see them fall, right? We get a perverse pleasure out of that. So you don't want that, right? What we want to do is focus on the daily micro wins, write that list down. If you can only come up with 5, that's a good way to do it. But it's small, consistent action. That's success. And when I used to do motivational talks, which I still do from time to time, we talk about that. It's success is not overnight, and people don't just land there. Success is always incremental, sometimes quicker, sometimes slowly, but it's always incremental. It's small daily wins that add up to, you know, emotional recovery, uh, contentment, ease of living, right? So when you get knocked down, I don't care what it is, right? But you get knocked down in your life, just remember, validate your emotions, number one, right? Stay connected to people. Reach out. Don't try to, I don't know about you, but when I get in my head and I'm alone, that's a bad neighborhood, right? So, and focus on micro wins and pay attention to those little micro wins. They might be, I do that every day. You know, I write a list and I try to come up with 10. It's kind of hard after doing this for a few months, but it's amazing. So, bottom line is, you guys can do this. You don't have to stay stuck when you go through something tough. You don't have to stay in victim mode. You don't have to stay in self-pity mode. These are actions you can take. So if you're getting something out of these videos, I love having you here. Feel free to share. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime a new video comes out. I appreciate you guys. If you want to check out my ebook, there's a link to it. It's only like $5. Go and get it. It teaches you how to be more resilient. Stick around. We got a lot more content coming. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again real soon.